it going, viewers? Mr. Incredi-Brony is back and he's rolled with the punches, baby. Welcome to a ranking tier list, and we're doing the last one for today. And as you can see by this hat, we are finally doing all 27 Pixar movies. Now, unfortunately, my original tier list with all 26 Pixar movies from last year got deleted by YouTube because the video was too long. So I'm going to try and make this video a little bit shorter than that one, hopefully, and hopefully they'll accept it. And I think I may have, of course, because I used to curse back then in my older video, so that's another reason they took it down. Either way, with the new release of Elemental and me doing a little bit of a spoiler-free review, I think I finally got to watch it again and now I have a definitive opinion, and I want to do a ranking so you know my opinion on all Pixar movies. Some of you already know some. I've done a review of some Pixar movies on the channel just to give you more in-depth thoughts, but either way, let's finally do a ranking of every single Pixar movie. So yeah, this is going to be a doozy. 1, 2, 3, cue the music. I also made the tier list special, actually. We have the D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. I gave it its own name. So the D tier is called Put That Thing Back Where It Came From, Also Help Me. The C tier is Negative, Captain. The B tier is Incredible. The A tier is A plus 113, like A113, which is like a little Easter egg. And the S tier is called Beyond Infinity, to infinity and beyond. So yeah, I made it very special, honestly. So yeah, viewers, and also we're gonna do it in chronological order as well. So, and also comment down below what your favorite Pixar film is and how you would rank them. And I'm also gonna do the films from 1 to 10 in rankings as well. So yeah, to make it clear. Starting off, we have the original Toy Story from 1995. What an amazing start to such an amazing studio. As you know, animation studio-wise, Pixar is my all-time favorite, and I think Toy Story is such a great start. It holds up well. Animation may not be the best, but the characters, there's Woody, Buzz, Rex, Ham, Mr. Potato Head, Sarge, Slinky, and Sid, Andy, all the characters in this film are handled really well. The comedy is amazing. The score is beautiful. Toy Story has such a great concept, and I think it's handled the best in the concept of toys coming to life. I really love this film, and because it's a staple to how this is the first fully computer animated film, it really means a lot. So for that reason, I'm putting this film, in the A plus 113 category. I want to put it in Beyond Infinity, but I give the film a 9 out of 10. If it's more than a 9, then I put it in S tier. But this film is a strong 9 out of 10, so I'm giving it A tier. So that's still amazing. Now we have A Bug's Life. I think the second in Pixar film, and honestly, still pretty good. I think it has one of my favorite villains of all time out of all the Pixar movies. I think it has a personal favorite villain of mine, which is Copper, played brilliantly by Kevin Spacey. Flick is a well-written protagonist, and I also enjoy the concept. There are some scenes that are a little bit slow for me here and there, but when they get to the circus bugs, that's when the film really starts to shine for me personally. Not the strongest Pixar film, but honestly better than most. I still find it more rewatchable than most. I really like it, so I'll put this one in the Incredible tip. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, but I'm going.
Already?
Yeah, I need to take Spring to the vet.
Okay, we'll take care of him. Hi guys, my sister's back.
Hi.
Yeah, I made it clear I was taking care of your dog. So
That's amazing.
take care. So yeah, you got to meet my sister finally. She's taking the dog to the vet. We love him so much. So let's get back to, as I said, A Bug's Life holds up pretty well. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. That's pretty good. I'll put it in the Incredible tier. So B tier, yeah. B tier for Bug's Life. So yeah. Now we have Toy Story 2, my favorite sequel ever. I already have a video explaining why it's my favorite sequel ever, so you go watch that video. Toy Story 2, long story short, 10 out of 10. My favorite sequel ever. Right on the S tier, right there. I don't care what y'all say. Best Toy Story movie ever. Right there. Monsters, Inc. Another amazing film. This is another film I would consider a GOAT. Both this and Toy Story 2 are GOATs, greatest of all time movies. Monsters, Inc. is also a solid 10 out of 10. Right up there in the S tier. It has one of the best concepts ever of monsters going into your closet to scare you and using it to power up their city. It's so genius, and Mike Wazowski and Sully are two of the best characters ever. I love their dynamics so much, and all the side characters are handled really well. Randall is great. Roz is absolutely hilarious. Celia is cute. I just love all the characters in this film. And Henry J. Waternews, his twist of being the villain was great. I think it's a great twist, and Boo is absolutely adorable. Easily the cutest child in animation history. I just love I love her relationship with Sully, or Kitty, I should say. The film gets better the more times you watch it. It also is, without a doubt, one of the funniest films ever. I always tear up at the end. I just am in love with this film. And what makes this film really special is that it's the first Pixar film not directed by John Lasseter. This is the first one directed by Pete Docter, and it's an absolute banger. 10 out of 10, and well done, Pixar. S tier. And then we have Finding Nemo, another S tier right off the bat. I'm putting this at the lower end of S tier, but still S tier because it's a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, this film made me connect with my father a lot. My father cares for me a lot, of course, but after he watched this film, he swore to himself that he would protect me at all costs, and he told me this is the reason I love and care for you more than I already do. So that's already really cute. And the film overall is really lovely too. I love the visuals. The visuals under the water is amazing. Speaking of visuals, I think Toy Story 2 and Monsters Inc. also hold up really well in animation departure, but Finding Nemo, I think, is when Pixar starts to get peak, honestly. And all the characters are written really well. Marlin, Dory, Nemo, Crush, Bruce, and of course, all the fish in the tank. My favorite one being Gil, because he's voiced by Willem Dafoe. And yeah, overall, such an incredible film. It's heartwarming, it's heartbreaking actually, and it just gets better the more times you watch, especially with someone that you love and care about. It's just so beautiful. So 9.5 out of 10, right at the S tier. Well done, Pixar. Speaking of well done, Pixar, we have The Incredibles. I wonder where it's gonna go, viewers. Oh yeah, it's my favorite movie of all time. What else? I don't even have to say anything. It's at the top of the S tier, 10 out of 10. And then we have Cars. Let's go. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. Woo! Yeah, absolute banger, honestly. I still think this film holds up really well. I give this film a strong 7 out of 10. And I'll put it in the B tier, honestly. It's better than A Bug's Life, without a doubt. And Lightning McQueen's character development from being the hotshot rookie and being a bit arrogant and cocky, and becoming a hero to help. He let Strip Weathers win the final race, which was really heartwarming. Chick Kicks, irritating, but honestly, who wouldn't be? Mater, funny character. And Doc Hudson is probably my favorite character in the trilogy ever. I mean, in the first movie at least. I really love his dynamics with Lightning McQueen and all his lessons. And the soundtrack is really good. And overall, a really fun watch. There's nothing too amazing about it, but I still have a fun time watching it all the time. So yeah, 7 out of 10, right at the top of B tier. And then we have Ratatouille, another film, and guess who's directed by? Brad Bird. Wow, that's another 9.5 out of 10, just like Finding Nemo. It's better than Finding Nemo, but not by a long shot. It's still just as amazing. I still prefer Monsters Inc., Toy Story 2, and The Incredibles, but Ratatouille, this is one of the most relatable films ever. The message of like anyone can cook is always gets to me, and I love Anton Ego's speech at the end. It always gives me chills, and Remy, voiced by Patton Oswalt, is so adorable. I love his dynamics with Linguini and teaching him how to cook. Colette is also really great. Skinner is hilarious. Gusto is actually a really fun character too. All the characters are handled well. I would have loved to see more of the rat family, like Emil and Django, the family, the rat colony. But still, I still love the film for what it is, and Brad Bird never fails to amaze us, okay? He's just the GOAT director. So yeah, Ratatouille, 9.5 out of 10. Or as Michelle Yeoh says it, Rakakuni. And then we have WALL-E, another GOAT film in my opinion. Right at the S tier. I'm putting this better than Finding Nemo, better than Ratatouille, better than Monsters Inc., and slightly better than Toy Story 2. Another 10 out of 10. I am in love with this movie. It has my favorite romance story ever, period. The first half of WALL-E is definitely better than the second half, but the second half is still really good. I'm in love with the visuals of this film. The post-apocalyptic world kind of thing that the like the world is all ruined, which kind of reminds me of that scene in the season 5 finale of My Little Pony when Twilight takes Starlight Glimmer to like the future where everything is just like a wasteland. That's what it reminds me of every time I watch WALL-E or even My Little Pony, like vice versa. And I'm in love with it. I'm in love with those kind of visuals. And WALL-E is easily my favorite protagonist in any Pixar film ever. He's the best protagonist in my personal opinion. And absolutely adorable, really likable. And his relationship with Eva is just absolutely heartwarming. Like, my heart always is being punched when I watch this film, and I love it. I really do. Of course, my favorite character is Ma, and the captain is handled really well, and Otto is actually a really good villain as well. So yeah, the message is really well done. I'm just in love with. I'm literally in love with this film. So yeah, solid 10 out of 10, right at the S tier. And then we have Up, another film directed by Pete Docter who did Monsters Inc. And oh my gosh, amazing, really amazing. Another 10 out of 10. And it's on the S tier, better than Finding Nemo and Ratatouille, but I do prefer Monsters Inc. and all the others. Up is definitely a film that people need to give more love. I understand that people would agree that the first 15 minutes is the best part, which I will say this, I think Up has the best opening to any movie ever. I think it has the greatest like first 15 to 20 minutes of any movie I've ever seen in my life, and it always gets to me. You all know what happened. I don't need to talk about it because I am going to tear up. Carl Fredricksen is a hilarious character. I love Russell. I love Kevin. I love Doug. Charles Muntz is actually a really well-written villain. And the more times I watch this film, the more times I just realize how important this film really is. And it really just teaches you about the term adventure is out there. Just because you lost someone special in your life doesn't mean your whole life should be ruined. Just get on out there and have your own adventure. That's what they want you to have. And that little message that Ellie wrote in Carl's book, in her adventure book, that was like, thanks for the adventure, now go have another one. Oh, it gets me all the time. Yeah, the film is hilarious and heartwarming and heartbreaking. That's what I should say. It makes you laugh, makes you cry. I love it. And then we have Toy Story 3, what should have been the ending to the Toy Story franchise, but we'll get to that later. Toy Story 3 is another 9 out of 10 movie. Toy Story is a 9 out of 10. This movie is also a 9 out of 10. I still don't know which one I prefer, but after rewatching them, I've decided that Toy Story 3 is better. Only because I think Lotso is a better villain. That's the only reason. Sid is still good and a smart written villain, but I think Lotso has the best, is overall got one of the best character arcs in the villain lineup, in my opinion. And I love how he turns Buzz Lightyear evil and then he becomes Spanish Buzz. That's easily the best moment in any Toy Story film ever. So that's another reason I love this film and more. And the ending when Andy gives his toys to Bonnie and Woody says, "So long, partner." Just such a punch in the heart once again. Pixar knows how to play with your emotional swings. It's so good at that. And I think what makes this film really incredible is that it's not directed by John Lasseter. It's actually directed by Lee Unkrich, who is director of Coco. And I think it's really great how he makes the film feel like Toy Story 1 and 2. So that makes the film more impressive, that it's not directed by John Lasseter. That's what I love more about it. So yeah, when a sequel is not made by the same person who made the first movie, that makes it more impressive. So yeah, Toy Story 3, what should have been the ending, overall, still love it. A tier. And then we have Cars 2. I made a video explaining why I don't think the film is as bad as people say, but it's not as good as I want it to be. There are still things I'm not a huge fan of, like the whole spy genre thing being a bit out of nowhere, and how Mater is like the main role and it kind of forgets about Lightning McQueen and the Piston. Not Piston Cup, the Grand Prix. I wanted to see the Grand Prix. I wanted to see Lightning McQueen race against Francesco. I wanted to see that. And whilst Holly Shiftwell and Finn McMixer are great characters, they can't save the film from being kind of a boring watch sometimes. But it's not a terrible film. I still find enjoyment in it. So I'm giving it a 4 out of 10, and I'll put it in the C tier. So negative, Captain. It could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better, you know? Okay, then we have my mom's favorite Pixar film, Brave. Now, this is a hot take. I actually really like Brave. I think Brave is actually a film that's slept on for all the wrong reasons. So I'm putting it in the C tier. I think it's better than A Bug's Life, but not as cool as the first Cars movie, without a doubt. The main protagonist of Merida is written really well, and her dynamics with her mother is actually handled very well. The twist of her becoming a bear is actually really cool and hilarious, and I just love the dynamics they have every now and then. The three little boys, the twins, they are triplets. They are hilarious, and Fergus, the father of Merida, he's hilarious, and all the characters are actually really fun. Even the witch is also iconic in my opinion. Yeah, the film is just really fun. It's cute. It makes you tear up as well, and it really does make you connect with your parents more. Actually, that you should realize that you shouldn't force your kids to do things that you want them to do. You should let them be free and make their own choices. And I think that's a really well written story. And the film is directed by, well, not entirely directed by Brenda Chapman, but still, she did direct The Prince of Egypt, which is amazing. So, you have to admit, that's still really cool. She got credit, and that's all that matters, really. So, yeah, the film, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. And then we have Monsters University, a very underrated film, in my opinion. Yes, I know some people are not a big fan of this film, but I already made a film saying why I think it's the most underrated film Pixar has made, and why it's actually really great. Especially that scene when Mike and Sully are in the human world, and they have this, conversation by the lake. A beautiful scene. One of the best scenes ever in the Pixar line. It's like top 10 best Pixar moments ever. I'm not joking. Monster University is an 8 out of 10. I will put it in the Incredibles tier, so B tier. I do think it's hilarious. It's cute. It's relatable, and yeah, all the characters are handled very well. I really enjoy it. And there's some nice references to the first movie as well. We get to see Roz at some point, which is really nice. And then we have Inside Out, another film that feels like Pixar at their best. Another a solid 10 out of 10. Better than Finding Nemo, better than Ratatouille, and honestly better than Up, but that's it. Inside Out is another film. Once again, Pete Docter never fails. All of his films are in this list. All his films that he's directed are in the S tier, and they're all 10 out of 10s. That's impressive, Pete Docter. Well done. And Andrew Stanton also has his two films in here as well. So that's incredible. But Inside Out has one of my favorite concepts ever. How the emotions work inside your head, and joy, sadness, fear, and anger and disgust are absolutely adorable, hilarious, and really cool. I love how it's handled, and it makes me wonder what it's like inside my head. I really want to know what it's like, because it would be hilarious to see. And Amy Poehler is great as Joy, and I absolutely love how it has my favorite actor. My favorite actor of all time is Bill Hader, and having him in a Pixar film makes me kind of love the film a little bit more. So him as Fear was just chef's kiss right there. And that ending when Bing Bong tells Joy, take Riley to the moon for me, just rest in peace. Such a roller coaster of emotions. That's the best way to describe this film. A roller coaster of emotions, like literally. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, then we have The Good Dinosaur. I already made a video explaining why it's my least favorite Pixar film ever, and it still is the worst Pixar film. 1 out of 10. Put that thing back where it came from. D tier. I already have a video explaining why it's the worst, so please watch it, viewers. Just don't worry. I feel what makes it worse is that this one came out in the same year as Inside Out. That's what hurts me the most. Okay, then we have Finding Dory from 2016. Honestly, a good sequel. Not as great as the first film, but I still find enjoyment in it. So I'm putting Finding Dory in the B tier. I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. I would say better than A Bug's Life, but Brave, Cars, and Monster University definitely better, personally. Still really good. Okay, then we have Cars 3, an awesome movie, an awesome sequel, and this is also Tamara 2009's favorite film, well, Pixar film at least, and Cars 1 is, like I said, is a 7 out of 10, Cars 2 is a 4 out of 10, Cars 3, however, is a strong 9 out of 10. I'm putting this in the A tier. I actually think Cars 3 is better than Toy Story, and Toy Story 3, honestly, yes. Because I think this film hits a lot harder than Toy Story 3, surprisingly. I think because Toy Story 3 has a second movie after, that kind of brings down the points. I would have given Toy Story 3 a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for Toy Story 4 existing. But since Cars 3 is its own film and the conclusion to Cars, that makes it slightly better than Toy Story 3 personally. So yeah, Cars 3 is a great conclusion to Lightning McQueen's storyline. Cruz Ramirez is the best female character in the trilogy without a doubt. I love her dynamic with Lightning McQueen. I love her origin, not really origin, but childhood and how she wanted to be a racer, but she didn't see herself fitting in. But then she actually gets to race at the end, and I love how they didn't make Mr. Sterling a twist villain or anything. That was actually great. Jackson Storm was actually good enough for an antagonist to be kind of a threat to being the new rookie sensation. And yeah, this film just did everything right. I really do love this film. Please watch it. You will have a great time. Then we have Coco. I mean, what else can I say? It's a 10 out of 10. I mean, come on. So yeah, Coco is definitely a 10 out of 10. Right in the S tier up there. I do prefer all the other 10 out of 10s, but this is still such a beautiful film. I'm in love with the visuals, and I actually really like all the character arcs are handled really well. But you have Miguel, you have Hector, you have Mama Imelda, Mama Coco, and Ernesto de la Cruz. The twist village was handled really well. The music is absolutely sensational, and Lee Unkrich just knows how to make an emotional film. He really does. I just love it, and I love how it's based on the Day of the Dead, a celebration that I actually got to witness when my mom actually showed me this video of her in Mexico. So yeah, really beautiful film. A peak Pixar film. Pixar at their best. 10 out of 10. Okay, then we have Incredibles 2. Yeah, the sequel to my favorite movie of all time. Can't be that bad, right? Right? Well, negative, Captain. I'm sorry. Better than Cars 2, that's for sure, but not by a long shot. I would give Incredibles 2 a 5.5 out of 10. There are some things I do actually love about this film. I think it handles Jack really well. I love Jack in this movie, and Elastigirl being the hero was also a lot of fun. The Screenslaver was a terrible villain. Mr. Incredible felt like he went back to not loving his family for some reason, even though he made it clear that it's in the first movie that you are my greatest adventure. Dash and Violet, Dash was the same. Violet felt a little bit out of character throughout the film. I think she was a bit too mad, but I still understand where she's coming from. I would have loved to see her and Tony Ridinger go on an actual date, but it still hasn't happened yet, which is upsetting. Yeah, honestly, Jack really does save this movie from being a total disaster, which is crazy. I never thought I'd say this, but the baby saves the movie. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10, mostly because of Jack. But either way, this film isn't awful. It could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. Ugh. It still feels lazy in some scenes, honestly. Reused sounds and all that jazz. I know you, Brad Bird. Pixar made you do this. I know you could do better. Yeah, Incredibles 2, C tier. Toy Story 4. Why does this film exist? The only reason I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 is because of the character Duke Kaboom, and that's it. If this movie was all about Bo Peep and all the other toys, then I think this film could have been great. But because it had all the other characters and they sidelined Buzz, Jesse, Rex, Ham, Slinky, and all the other characters, this film sucks. And also, they ruined Woody's arc. If this film was just titled maybe just Woody, then fine. But no, it had to be called Toy Story 4. I really cannot care less. I can care less. I really can care less. 2 out of 10. Put that thing by where it came from. D tier. Okay, then we have Soul. I'll be honest, this film is kind of disappointing. A little bit. This film had potential to be actually really good, but I think they kind of ruined it with the whole Freaky Friday scenario with Jamie Foxx's character. I think his name was Lance, I think. Was it Lance? I forgot his name. But, like, he gets in the cat's body, and Tina Fey's character gets in his body. So, yeah, I think the film could have been great. And also, this film does something that Pixar doesn't usually do. It pauses to explain lore and what's going on, which is it's just something that Pixar doesn't usually do. Monsters Inc. actually explains the rules of Monsters Inc. really well in like a few seconds, and it also does it visually without words, and that's how you do it. This film has to pause itself to explain rules, which is just something that you should never do in a film like Pixar usually does. So yeah, Soul had potential, but I was left soulless, pun intended. So yeah, I really don't care about this film. I'm putting it in the... I'll put it in, yeah, honestly, because people seem to love this film so much, it's overrated in my opinion. It's slightly better than Toy Story 4, but just slightly. I'm giving this a 3 out of 10, just a 3, so D tier. Then we have Onward. I'm pretty sure this is Baseball Game with DJ's favorite Pixar movie, and I can definitely see why, because this film is all about brotherhood, which is really adorable. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was excited for this film when I saw the trailer, but I was left a little bit confused. Don't get me wrong, the brotherhood dynamic relationship with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt's character, I forgot their name. I think one's called Marley. I forgot the other one's names. Was it Ian? Was it Ian and Marley? I think. If I got it wrong, I apologize. But yeah, I think that brotherhood relationship was handled honestly very well for a majority of the film. I think the conflict scene felt a little bit forced, and the climax with the dragon fight could have been handled better. And I'm also not a huge fan of the world building. Usually Pixar is great at world building, but the fantasy genre didn't really feel very fantasy. I don't know. I think if this was a DreamWorks or even Illumination film, or even Blue Sky, I think I would have liked it more. This doesn't feel like a Pixar movie, personally. I still enjoy it. I give it a 5. I think I give it a 5.5 out of 10. No, actually no, 6 out of 10. That's too rude. I was being too rude there. Onward is actually still got some really good things going for it. So you know what? I think Onward, 6 out of 10. I'll put it in the B tier, but just slightly less enjoyable than Bugs Life. Just slightly less. I still prefer Bugs Life, just slightly. I still find enjoyment in this film. Anyway, my point is, I enjoyed the film. Okay, there you go. Okay, then we have Luca. I don't know. This film. Okay, I do really like this film, but there are some issues here and there with it, but I still like it. Oh, you're back. Hi. Welcome back. Luca gets... I'll put it in the B tier. There. And then finally we have we're back to actually good Pixar films. 9 out of 10 for Turning Red, without a doubt. Right in the A tier. Better than Toy Story, but I think Toy Story 3 and Cars 3 was definitely a lot better. And finally, we have Lightyear from last year. My mum and I watched it at the cinema. We had an absolute blast. And the first Pixar film to have a lesbian couple, which was amazing. And Chris Evans was actually good as Buzz Lightyear, surprisingly. Even though Tim Allen is superior, let's all agree on that. Come on, viewers. But I did hate the twist with Zurg being a Buzz Lightyear future thing. That was awful. Other than that, I'll put it in the B tier. Could have been better though. And finally, we have Elemental, Pixar's newest film that I watched with my mom once again. And honestly, I'm not sure how I feel yet, because there were some kids in the audience that were a bit too loud and distracting. So I don't have a full opinion yet, because there were some scenes that were kind of ruined because the kids yelling in the audience. So I need to watch the film again to actually know what I think. But you know what? My mom and I still loved it for what it is. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. So, yes, A tier right there. There you go, viewers. I did all Pixar films in less than half an hour. I did an achievement. Love you all, viewers, and comment down below what your favorite Pixar film is. If you enjoyed this particular video, leave a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested. Follow me on Instagram, link down below. And until then, stay positive, keep calm, stay safe, be incredible. And as always, Brony on. Peace.